Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news now, Ravens fans. Let me tell you, the NFL offseason is already heating up, and the whispers coming from sources like Adam Schefter and ESPN are pointing to some serious shakeups that could redefine the division and even the Ravens' Super Bowl ambitions. One of the most intriguing rumors circulating right now involves the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their star offensive tackle, Tristan Wirfs. According to The Buzz, Tampa Bay, currently sitting at 5-8 and in the middle of a rebuild, is considering parting ways with Wirfs in a bold trade move. In exchange, they'd be looking for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft, along with offensive tackle Ronnie Stanley and around $25 million in free agency defense picks. Now I know what you're thinking, that's a hefty price, and it's a move that could shake up the entire league. But why would the Bucs do something like that? Well, Tampa Bay, under new management, is clearly prioritizing their rebuild and cap space. They're allowing their current roster to shift focus, especially on the defensive side, while trying to revamp their offense around a new core. Tristan Wirfs, for those who haven't been paying close attention, is considered one of the most versatile and reliable offensive tackles in the league. Over his career, he's posted a stellar PFF grade of 93. And even in 2025, despite some injury setbacks, he maintained an impressive 92. 6 PFF grade across 13 games, allowing just 2 sacks with an 87% block win rate. Not only that, but Wirfs has created over 4-5 yards per rush and has an EPA per block of plus 0.13. His performance against the Saints in Week 10 was a perfect showcase. 0 pressures, 8 pancakes, and consistently dominant at the line of scrimmage. With a career tally of 200 knockdowns and an 18% double-team rate, Wirfs proves to be a true mauler in the trenches. His injury this season involved an ankle issue in Week 6, but he's made a remarkable return, playing 7 games with less than 1 sack allowed and even forcing 2 fumbles. Now, for the Ravens, this potential trade could be a game-changer. With Ronnie Stanley returning from injury, the offensive line has been a bit inconsistent, especially after Isaac's injury reserve stint. Adding Wirfs would give Baltimore a monumental upgrade at one of the most critical positions on the field. The Ravens need that stability, especially as they push towards the postseason. Currently sitting at 7-7, Baltimore's offensive line has struggled at times, allowing too many sacks and pressures, which directly impacts Lamar Jackson's performance. Wirfs, with his elite-level skill set, could serve as the anchor to protect Lamar's blind side, opening up more opportunities for explosive plays downfield. Think about it. Wirfs would be a perfect fit, bringing that same toughness and versatility that the Ravens value so highly. Plus, his ability to create yards after contact and his knack for pancake blocks could turn the tide for Baltimore's rushing game, which has been crucial for Lamar's success this season. Speaking of that rushing attack, adding Wirfs isn't just about pass protection. His presence could boost Baltimore's yards per rush, which right now hovers around 4.2 yards, but with his blocking, that number could easily tip into the 4.4 or 4.5 range. That's huge for maintaining drives, controlling the clock, and keeping the opposing defense on their heels. If we look at the potential impact statistically, a comparison between Wirfs and Stanley shows that Wirfs could bring about a +2. 8 win block advantage and an EPA per rush increase of plus 0.15. That's significant, especially in a league where every yard, every pressure, and every sack can make or break your season. Plus, considering the Ravens' top-ranked rushing attack and the importance of keeping Lamar healthy, this upgrade could be the missing piece for a serious playoff push. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The NFL odds are shifting, and FanDuel has already moved the Super Bowl LVII odds from +6.0 to +2.800 for the Ravens, highlighting how much this kind of move could be viewed as an OLX factor, a true game-changer. If Baltimore pulls off this trade, it's not just about adding a star tackle. It's about sending a statement to the rest of the league that the Ravens are serious about contending for another Super Bowl crown. The Ravens' recent history, especially under John Harbaugh's leadership, shows that with the right pieces, they can overcome tough opponents and make deep playoff runs. The addition of Wirfs would be reminiscent of the 2020 Buccaneers, when Tom Brady's team upgraded their offensive line and went all the way to the Super Bowl, winning it comfortably. That's the kind of impact Baltimore could see if they pull this off. The key, of course, is whether the Ravens' front office is willing to make that bold move. With Lamar Jackson's contract situation still in flux and the team's cap space tight but manageable, Baltimore has a window to make a splash. Securing Wirfs would send a message that they're all in, ready to go all the way this season. It would also serve as a boost for the entire offense, not just the line. Wide receivers like Odell Beckham Jr. and Zay Flowers would benefit from better protection, giving Lamar more time to find those explosive plays he's known for. It's a move that could redefine Baltimore's identity on offense, more balanced, more explosive, and more dangerous for any defense they face. Of course, this kind of trade doesn't come without questions. The Buccaneers are in a rebuild and seem to be prioritizing draft picks and cap flexibility over immediate success. They might be hesitant to part with Wirfs unless they get a top-tier offer, which the Ravens might be willing to make. And there's always the concern about how quickly Wirfs can gel into a new system, especially mid-season. But given his track record and the potential benefits, it's a risk worth considering for Baltimore. Moreover, this move could set a precedent, showing that the Ravens are willing to make bold decisions, just like they did in 2020 when they traded for Calais Campbell and others, ultimately building a team capable of competing deep into the playoffs. Looking ahead, if Baltimore manages to land Wirfs, the impact could extend beyond just this season. It could be a foundation for sustained success, a sign that the Ravens are committed to building a dominant trench game that sets the tone for years to come. With the AFC North being as competitive as ever, teams like Cincinnati and Pittsburgh always lurking, adding a player of Wirfs' caliber could be the edge the Ravens need to take the division back and secure a top playoff seed. And let's not forget, the playoffs are all about trenches, the battles up front, the protection of your franchise QB, and the ability to impose your will on the ground. If Baltimore can upgrade their offensive line with a talent like Wirfs, they're not just making a move for this season. They're setting themselves up for long-term glory. So as we watch these rumors unfold, keep in mind how important offensive line upgrades are in this league. The Ravens have always prided themselves on a tough, physical identity, something that Wirfs embodies completely. His addition could be the missing puzzle piece that transforms this team from good to great, from playoff contenders to Super Bowl champions. It's a bold move, yes, but in the NFL, sometimes you have to take risks if you want to go all the way. And with the Ravens' potential to dominate in both the run and pass game, this trade could be the start of a new chapter, one where Baltimore reasserts itself as a powerhouse in the AFC and beyond. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster trade? Do you think Wirfs would be the perfect upgrade for Lamar Jackson in this offensive line? Are you excited about the Ravens making bold moves to position themselves as serious Super Bowl contenders? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Ravens' future. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned and keep that passion alive. Let's go Ravens!